If we're going to talk a bit about the investment philosophy, how would you say that you typically evaluate companies? Do you source everything by yourself, or do companies come to you? How does that sourcing process look like?
I think, we all want to become very proactive around our themes. I think so far, since we are relatively new and we also are still in a fundraising mode, a lot of the transactions or opportunities are coming through our network, which is also part of the thesis that the network will provide, because in a way, a lot of people that we work with will often refer deals to us. So that opens up for a lot of collaboration. And so the deal flow comes a lot through network, other cooperating funds, people we know. But of course, over time, we will also work very much proactively looking at companies in certain sectors that we want to be and try to be early on the curve. When we look at companies coming in, we have sort of 4 initial criteria, because to be honest, sometimes you can get a lot of opportunities, but you need to be very good at sourcing out the right opportunities that fits your mandate, but also that is good for the company. Is it quality all around? That's number 1. It needs to be something that you can really believe in. Can it go 10 times? Can this really scale? I mean, is the business model there, market? So is it a sort of hugely scalable business? Thirdly, does it have the impact criteria that we are looking for? Because we do have a very strong impact agenda in Sandwater, so we need to understand what does that impact mean. And it's not being a good citizen. I mean, that also, but primarily we're looking for what does the business model itself create of impact if they succeed. That's kind of the core of what we're looking at. So we need to have a check on that. And also, can Sandwater contribute in a good way? If those 4 checks, then we're on the route to looking at it more closely. But then, of course, there's so many other things that you need to go through. But it's very important to have a strong filter, be clear on who you can work with and who should probably find somebody else. And then you need to sort of spend time. But obviously, there's very, very few of those we talk to. Also, those we select to move on with, there's very few we end up investing in.
You touched upon fundraising, which is super interesting because it also, sometimes relies on timing, etc. What was the general, conclusion after doing a big fundraising? What are the key principles?
I think timing, and that's half luck and half sort of hopefully conscious work. But I think obviously having the core and understanding what the different LPs would challenge you on. I describe it a bit like when you're setting up a new fund, you're building a huge foundation with huge thick walls. It's like a house, right? Big house, huge thick walls, a lot of wiring inside, a lot of stuff, and you're building 1 floor. And that foundation can take 10 floors. So you need to invest a lot in the foundation. It needs to be rock solid, otherwise you won't get the first floor. So that is a lot, structure, compliance, all these things, and that takes a lot of time to invest in. And then you need to have like we discussed already, a strategy that sort of hits somebody. And then after that, it's just stamina, lots of meetings. And eventually, you need to also be good at playing the momentum, so that you need to have somebody who steps up first so that the others will follow. And after that, then you need to work very intensely to build a core of investors that other people want to follow. So we've done fundraising now in 2 rounds. First, we took in 220 million, and now we're at close to 700 million. But we still have another sort of round to go. It's very important to get the right investors, because you're doing this for long term. So if we're going to make the 10 floors on this thing, we need to have investors that want to be with us